Hiya and welcome back. Today we are in South Shields visiting a Roman fort. We are taking our drone up. We can't take it up too high because we are getting strong wind warning. But here we are on the rugged northeast coast of Britain, where the River Tyne meets the North Sea, lies the remains of a fort that once stood at the edge of the known world. This is Arbeia, a Roman stronghold that guarded an empire and linked Britannia to lands as distant as Iraq, Syria and Spain. More than just a fort, Arbeia was a vital supply base, a multicultural garrison and a home for soldiers, civilians and traders. Today we walk in their footsteps to uncover the story of one of Roman Britain's most important overlooked sites. By the 2nd century AD, the Roman Empire was at its height, stretching from the sands of North Africa to the moors of northern Britannia. But in the province of Britannia, Rome faced constant threats, not just from the wild lands to the north, but from logistical challenges too. In AD 122, Emperor Hadrian ordered the construction of a wall stretching across northern Britain, a defensive line to keep the tribes at bay and assert imperial control. That wall needed food. It needed weapons, men, and that's where Arbeia comes in. Situated in what is now South Shields, Arbeia guarded the entrance to the River Tyne and became the easternmost supply base for Hadrian's wall. We are just about to wrap up our drone shots and we are going to head into the museum, where you'll find fascinating displays of Roman jewellery, tombstones and even ancient skeletons that bring the fort's history to life. It's completely free to enter and we parked easily on the road nearby, arriving right for the 11 a.m. opening. While admission is free, donations are welcome and we felt it was worth donating for myself, my 7-year-old nephew Jude and David. The museum itself consists of 2 galleries. This one we're going into contains building inscriptions, inscribed altars and tombstones, together with displays explaining Roman burial practices and the religious ideas that influenced them. South Shields has produced one of the largest collections of objects from any military site in Roman Britain. There is so much to see in this museum, would be here ages. So we are going to move on to the second gallery, which highlights some of the most important small finds discovered on the site since 1875, including a large collection of imperial lead ceilings, a soldier's ring mail shirt, and a wide range of Roman jewellery. We are going to start heading outside now to have a look around. So Arbeia was founded around AD 160, likely under the Emperor Antonius Pius. Its name, Arbeia, comes from the Latin for place of the Arabs, named after a unit of boatmen stationed here from the Syrian desert. These soldiers were brought to the damp shores of Britain to help manage river transport, showing how far Rome's reach extended. Alongside them, troops from Gaul, Spain and North Africa served in this northern outpost. Arbeia was more than a fort, it was a melting pot of cultures and peoples. Like most Roman forts, Arbeia followed a strict layout. At its peak, the fort covered around 5 acres with thick stone walls and 4 gateways. Inside were the essentials of military life: barracks for the troops, a principia or headquarters, workshops, a hospital and vast granaries. The granaries at Arbeia are particularly impressive. With raised floors to keep the grain dry and cool, they once held enough supplies to feed entire garrisons along the wall. The commanding officer's house was also lavish, a symbol of Rome's presence and prestige in the region. Life here wasn't all marching and drills. It was also a thriving community. Soldiers shared the fort with civilians, traders, blacksmiths, farmers and families who lived just outside the gates in a settlement known as the barracks. Soldiers might be stationed here for 25 years or more. They'd form relationships, marry local women and raise children. Latin was the official language, but dozens of dialects would have been echoed in the streets. The daily routine included religious rituals, letters home and a surprising amount of leisure. Bathhouses, games, even local markets. Arbeia was far from Rome, but still very Roman. Excavations at Arbeia have uncovered some of the most remarkable finds in Roman Britain. Perhaps the most famous is the tombstone of Regina, a former slave from southern Britain who became the wife of Barracks, a Syrian merchant stationed at Arbeia. Her epitaph, written in both Latin and Aramaic, tells a story of love and loss that spans cultures and continents. Other finds include local pottery, armour, toys and coins, a rich archaeological record that paints a vivid picture of everyday life on the frontier. Each artefact is a voice from the past, bringing us closer to the people of Arbeia. Though this site may lay 5 miles east of Hadrian's wall, it was essential to its operation. Ships from across the Roman world would dock at the nearby river port, unloading goods that were stored at Arbeia before being sent inland. From here, supplies were transported by road to forts all along the wall, to Vindolanda, Housesteads and beyond. Without Arbeia, Rome's northern frontier might have starved. It wasn't just a border post, it was a logistical lifeline. By the late 4th century, as Roman control in Britain weakened, Arbeia was slowly abandoned. The empire retreated and nature reclaimed the site. Centuries passed before the fort was rediscovered and excavated in the late 19th century. In the 1980s, Arbeia made history once again as one of the first sites in Britain to reconstruct Roman buildings directly on their original foundations. Today you can walk through a Roman gatehouse, explore a commander's villa and stand in the very granaries that once fed an empire. So welcome to the courtyard house. This is thought to be the house where the commanding officer who was in charge of the unit garrisoned at the fort lived with his household, according to the Northeast Museums. The building is a close copy of a luxurious Mediterranean townhouse with the main rooms laid out around a central courtyard. The reconstruction includes a summer dining room and a suite of 4 rooms, which would have been private living quarters. All rooms are richly decorated with fresco painting, which is painted directly onto wet plaster, and some of the motifs are based on painted plaster fragments found in the excavation of the original building. The rooms have been laid out as they may have looked in the Roman period. The part of the building that has not been reconstructed included a winter dining room with underfloor heating, a kitchen, stables and baths. There is also an exhibition on the evidence behind the reconstruction and how the barracks and the commanding officer's house have been reconstructed. Let's have one last look outside, and one of the most striking features of the fort is a reconstruction of the west gate, which was rebuilt as it would have looked in the 2nd century. It was rebuilt to attract more visitors to the site, and it was the first time that a reconstruction had been built over Roman remains. A public inquiry was carried out before the work could go ahead. All Roman forts had 4 major gateways which controlled access to the fort itself. They also provided an imposing facade to impress upon people the might of the Roman Empire. This is the West Gateway. The north and east gateways could have looked similar, but the southern gateway only had a single archway entrance. The gate has 2 towers flanking a pair of carriageways, each of which had arches at the front and rear. Details of the appearance of the gateway were taken from information gathered during excavation. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And the next time you walk along the River Tyne, remember, beneath your feet lies the story of an empire and the lives of those who held its frontier. Take care, and we hope to see you again soon. See you later.